Hey the guys, hope you're doing great today. Now, I got inspired in the ice bath the other day to do a big old shout out to Bristol. I've been here for 8 months now, and this town has been really good to me. I really feel like it's opened up its arms and its heart to welcome me in. I felt loved, welcomed, and accepted here. So that's the one word. If I want to choose one word that comes to mind when I think of Bristol, is the word gentle. Now, I live in a pretty raucous part of town, and sure, Bristol has its rough edge, it has its rowdy edge, but honestly, it's still such a gentle town. I live in a part of town with a lot of homeless people, for instance, but each and every one of them is so gentle. Do you have a pound, sir? No, not today. Sorry, mate. That's okay, sir. Have a lovely day. That's the kind of interaction I get on a daily basis. So, despite it's being a town with lots of graffiti and definitely a noticeable homeless population in parts, certainly where I live, it just has a real gentle, welcoming feeling. Now, I had no idea what Bristol was like before I moved here. I knew two things. I knew that Banksy came from Bristol. Now, I thought that's pretty cool. Love street art. And honestly, Bristol blows you away with all the street arts. So much expression, really, blows you away. Just so much beautiful handcrafted work on the walls here. And obviously, partially thanks to Banksy, whoever he or she is. Um, the other thing that I knew was trip hop, Massive Attack, Portishead, Tricky. I knew they came from Bristol. Well, Portishead come from Portishead, which is a town just on the edge of Bristol, for those who didn't know. So that was already a huge thing. I love trip hop. But did you know that Ronnie Size came from Bristol as well? One of the pioneers of drum and bass being one of my favorite kinds of dance music. So yeah, since I've been here, I've discovered so much more music, more art, more personality, more depth. It really is a vibrant town. Bristol is a town that hooks you and reels you in. There's a saying in Bristol, once you move to Bristol, you never leave. And I know I won't live in Bristol for the rest of my life, but I know when I do leave, I will leave a little bit of my heart here in Bristol. So some facts about Bristol. It's established 1012, so it's been going for just over 1,000 years. It's set in southwest England, close to Glastonbury and Stonehenge, a very mystical part of England. So there's a lot of great energy down here. It's right on the west coast, so it cops those westerly winds pretty bad sometimes. But it's in a bit of a rain shadow, so it gets a little bit less rain than surrounding areas. Honestly, since I moved here, the weather's been pretty amazing. So, blown away by that. We don't all think of English weather as being that great, but honestly, ever since February, it's been outstanding. What else can I tell you about Bristol history? So, Blackbeard, would you believe, came from Bristol, the famous pirate. Cary Grant came from Bristol. Wouldn't it have been cool if the two of them could have made a movie together? The engineer Brunel, very famous engineer who wasn't born in Bristol but spent a lot of his time here and helped shape the city a great deal. Engineered and built the Clifton Suspension Bridge, the Temple Mead Station. So there's a few places with the name Temple in it, and that always refers to Knights Templar. So it's another interesting point. They had quite a presence here in Bristol. Brunel also built the SS Britain, a famous boat down moored on the docks, which is open for viewing. It's one of the boats that took a lot of people across to Australia, I believe. So some other facts about Bristol. It's the only British city to get Green Capital of Europe, I believe is what it's called, indicating how progressive and forward-thinking Bristol is. I'm on a bike all day, or every day I should say. And wow, what a great city if you're on a bike. it's the best cycling city in Britain, more cycle lanes per area than any other city in England. I used to live in Amsterdam and loved cycling there, but Bristol I like even better. It's slightly smaller than Amsterdam and takes about an hour to cycle from one side to the other. It's got hills, which at first I struggled with, but I'm really into my fitness these days, so I love cranking up those hills, getting in my sprint. And of course, wherever you have hills, you have beautiful views. So what a way to see Bristol by bike. It's so varied, so lush. I just love cycling around this town. It has amazing architecture, Bristol. Georgian and Victorian, really well represented. It's got some really unique styles here. One that comes to mind is Victorian Gothic, a beautiful style which is really well represented in Bristol. Now, it's a port town, so of course it has a bit of a checkered history. It's done all kinds of trading. It's did a lot of slave trading in the past, so there was a fair bit of white guilt here around that, and I don't want to downplay that dark part of its history at all, but I would like to look at it from a slightly different angle as well, and would just like to say how important the black community is in Bristol. For my feeling, it really defines this town. There's this lovely kind of, I don't know, grounded energy, I suppose, in this town. The sounds that define Bristol would have to be drum and bass and dub reggae and always kind of very black influenced music. So despite that terrible history, I must say that without that happening, of course, Bristol certainly wouldn't be what it is. I'd like to say that the black community here, Jamaican, more recently Somalian and Nigerian as well, among others, but that Jamaican presence is really noticeable, and it really, I feel like it's really the funky bass line of Bristol, if you like, the beating heart. So I really appreciate that side of it. So yes, as you probably noticed, Bristol is a very diverse town. It's almost like a mega cosmopolitan cribbed down into a cute little town of 460,000, not tiny, but yeah, like I say, I can cycle across town in an hour, so that really is something, isn't it? The food. So the food here is amazing, so diverse. It's won awards for its approach to food, its diversity, its sustainable approach. It's also been ranked by several sources as the best vegan town in the world. Yes, in the world, would you believe? And we won't hold that against it. Hey, I love vegan food too, but there's so much going on here food-wise. Asian food's really well represented. Middle Eastern food here is amazing. Jamaican food, outstanding. But next to that, there's Hungarian food, there's Peruvian, there's Malaysian, there's Sri Lankan. Oh boy, you name it, we have it here. So whatever your taste is, you can have that fulfilled. And the vibe in the eating and drinking places is also outstanding. Again, I come back to that word, gentle. It's just really a gentle and welcoming atmosphere. So how do I sum up Bristol? I've touched on the art and the music and the geography and the vibe. Politically, again, very green. It's the city with more Green Party representation in the council than any other town in England. So once again, Bristol, go green. You also smell a lot of weed on the street, so green in so many ways. Now, so I'd just like to come back to that word again, gentle. That's been my whole experience here. I just feel like I can talk to anybody on the street here, whether they're rich or poor, homeless or living in the fanciest house in town, and they all just treat me with respect, and I feel seen in this town. There's another great saying in Bristol: you do you, is what they say, meaning just be yourself, man. I feel like fashions aren't so adhered to in this town. Everybody wears what they feel like wearing. Everybody likes to be unique, be their authentic selves. They came to the right town to do that, to just relax and be themselves. So Bristol, you do you. And it's a very international town. 2 universities here, so very diverse population. A lot of people that I meet here have moved from elsewhere in England and to study or to work. There's interesting technology here, aviation technology and various other specific things that draw certain people to this town. But it's just a lovely, welcome town, perhaps a bit transient, but the great side of transience is that when that's that kind of flux in a certain city, it's a very welcoming city. People make friends quickly, and once they've established, they make friends with the next lot quickly. That's just how it works in this kind of town. The original Bristolians are a lovely bunch. I've only met a handful, but they're all outstanding people. Get lush me bubber. I believe I'm saying that right, which means just lovely me dear. It's the very, again, gentle lot, very welcoming. So that's the word that sums it all up for me, gentle. Thank you, Bristol, for welcoming me in and making me feel so loved, making my whole experience a very gentle one. I hereby pay my respects.